Some of the milestones that we've had this year, we renegotiated service contracts for a substantial savings community, and that included renegotiating for the pool, renegotiating for the landscaping, and that helped us to reach our 75,000 goal in reserves, by having those savings. We've also retained legal representation, which was something suggested to us by our management company for our community of our size and of our age, that it's really a good idea and it helps bring a big savings to our community. For when we have any legal letter that needs to be sent out, or when we have a question about the covenant that needs to be reviewed. As discussed last year, we're going to be we have stepped up the enforcement of covenants. I know that a lot of letters went out this year. No one was immune from letters. Everyone gets letters. And again, it is to help make our neighborhood stay on top of things, to help make sure that everyone's taking care of their grass, to help make sure that everybody is taking care of their paint. And, you know, we've had some issues where there are homes that just would not, after letter, would not mow their grass or pick their weeds, but we're going to keep sending the letters. And you may get one, and if it's something that you've already taken care of, like you just picked the weeds, but you get your letter, just ignore that. It's not personal. Everybody gets them, and again, it's just for the betterment of the neighborhood to make sure that we're still on top of things. The pool season this year, again, will be from May 1st to September 30th. And I don't think that was an additional cost at all, but it does give us more time at the pool. It might be a little bit chilly, but you know, every year there is always somebody in that pool on the first day, no matter how cold it is. So I can't wait to see what's going to be this year. And we initiated the Neighborhood Watch program, which hopefully will be a lot more successful than it was last time around.
Question about the pool last year. A couple of those little covered areas were put up, the little makeshift ones. They really didn't look too good after a while. Are you doing those again?
Well, they looked good until the wind decided to destroy them.
They're not built.
So I think we are going to be doing them again, but maybe putting them up a little sturdier and then taking down the cover at the top. You see the ones where we've taken the cover off the top, it's going to stay strong because when they get under and try to drag it off. Whereas a few of those, you know, we didn't take the cover off. And
one of them was destroyed or weakened by trapeze artists that used it. So by having some sturdier models and slightly bigger ones and anchoring them a little bit differently, that should provide for just a better coverage. Although they have some lasting issues, pretty much everyone enjoyed the fact that they were there, so we want to continue to do it.
And they were quite a bargain too. They were $100 a piece. But yeah, we should have gotten out there. My back was injured when the wind blew up, so I couldn't go down there and take them down. One of the neighbors did volunteer the two remaining ones. They took the canopy off, so I appreciate that. But you know, able to toss that out to the folks for consensus. Do you like the gazebo idea, or is the umbrella? Okay, all right. We can do that then. We talked about getting those.
If they're so enjoyed, maybe we should spend a little bit more money so they last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
This year we're thinking about spending more money. Yeah, I think the model that we're looking at now is a little sturdier, isn't it, Louie? It's a little bit bigger, a little bit sturdier.
Yeah. Have we thought about putting some funds aside over the next couple of years to build permanent structures instead of using these temporary ones?
Yeah, we had discussed that before. Building like a pergola type structure out there. That's something we could consider again. We had discussed it, but we didn't budget for it.
And because of the pool resurfacing, that was a year where we had too much expense in the year. We couldn't undertake any of the other things, so maybe this.
But again, you know, ideas that you guys have for the community, we can record this one, and you guys have ideas, get them to us, and we can consider them for.
They were just so popular. I hate to see us keep spending, you know, $500, $600 every year when we could.
One of the lessons was the anchoring wasn't quite enough, and so that's, you know, there's been some lessons learned. The sturdier models, they're a little bit bigger.
I have a question about the covenants that you're sending out, that forms being taken care of.
Yeah.
When does it stop becoming just sending them a letter and action is taken?
That's a good question.
We send the first letter out and we give them, 2 weeks?
2 weeks typically.
And then there's a second warning, and then after that, then we pretty much send someone over to do it.
The third
Because
one.
there are two houses right now. The rental house, when you first come in on the right. That's completely weak.
Yeah.
Right. Well, especially because it's the first house when you come in, it looks terrible. Also, 2 houses away from, I mean, I have nothing against those people, but I have to tell you, the rocks are all going up like this around the tree. I mean, it looks disgraceful.
I'll tell you
Well,
what,
we're just coming out of the winter season where everybody's grass is kind of growing and the weeds are growing too. And so you will see those letters start going out again for people to take care of their lawns. The only reason they haven't gone out in the past few weeks is because we know that, people haven't just yet jump started on getting the lawn done, doing that first cutting and everything. But that's going to start going out again. But we will continue to, work with them, and if I would say need be, we'll
we have intervened in several occasions over the last year, and what our ultimate remedy, if there's three letters aren't answered, is we can hire somebody to correct the discrepancy, and then it's billed to the person. And we had to do that several times last year.
Yeah, but unfortunately, then it
Then it
reverts right back again
reoccurs,
because
yeah.
they don't give a damn. They really don't. I mean, they just leave it, and that's a rental house, so that guy doesn't pay, and he's not living there.
Right.
And these other people, I mean, for as long as I'm living
You
here.
do bring up a good subject though, and this is one that I think we talked about wanting to raise at the meeting. As we said, our remedy is that if on 3 letters we don't have an answer, and 3 letters is an arbitrary thing we set up.
Then
we
maybe
can
they should be
intervene.
fined.
Exactly. That's what we were actually thinking, and I'd like to get a consensus here. We may float a vote to see if the board, you guys would support. Now we need 51% of the homeowners, and I see somebody shaking their head. I felt the same way when I wasn't on the board, but I can tell you that the remedy thing is it gives us some ability to correct issues, but the fining thing would give us a lot more power. And I think what we talked about doing was like drafting a proposal for how we would craft that.
Exactly.
Make sure that it's not something like we're persecuting somebody or penalizing somebody. It's something to protect the whole community.
Right.
So I think we'll draft that out and get it out.
It's not uncommon for a Covenant's neighborhood to have fines. And we talked with Jerry to go out and get some ideas of the kind of fines that other neighborhoods are taking their residents. And I mean, it's been a hard sell in the past, but it would be a good remedy to get a lot of the problems we see in our neighborhood resolved, because no one wants to pay fines.
Let me see a show of hands. Who would support fines if Heather was in charge?
I'd like to see the draft before I would.
All right, we can do that.
If it's set up properly, I think it would work. If not, have boards or tax.
Is that something you could post on the homeowners association website once it's been put together?
We'll craft something, and we'll come up with a way to get it out for you guys to look at, and then we can discuss the next steps. So
The problem
process.
with fines is always the enforcement. How do you enforce it?
For
Because
the
it gets to
fines?
a point where enforcement is more expensive than collecting the fine. And then it actually hurts the homeowners association much more than it would the
Right.
homeowner. So
Right.
how do you enforce these fines? That's the problem.
Well, that's when we send this out. Yeah.
But guess what? If you sell a fine is for $50, you're gonna put a lien on somebody's house for $50.
It gets
It's
that
gonna
back
cost you
when
more
they
in
sell the
stamp
house.
fee.
When they sell the house.
$50, it's gonna cost you more on stamp fee to establish that lien than the cost of a fine.
Well, not necessarily when you have a lawyer on the
Yes, first of all, we're paying that way. I'm not even sure if we need to.
Can I say something, please? We still have some pretty important material that we want to deliver to you, your board wants to deliver to you.
Okay.
There is a time towards the end of the meeting for question and answers.
Okay.
Let's save all these questions for that time.
Thanks for keeping us on track.
Okay.
Mr. O'Meara.